Welcome to the Tiger Men's Basketball Report. I'm your host, Spiro Maricas, along with the head coach of the Tigers, Pat Scarry. And Coach, the Tigers 1-0, having beaten Loyola on Monday night at CFG Bank Arena. And for your team, it was tied at 28 at halftime, but then you dominated the second half. Was it kind of a first game trying to feel your way through, you think, the first 20 minutes against the Greyhounds?
You know, I think give Loyola a credit. They're well coached, Coach
They really mixed up the defenses.
Yeah, Coach Loeffler does a good job. We knew they had good guards that all averaged over 28 minutes a game for them. So we knew they had good guards. And then, like you just said, the changing defenses bothered us, especially the 1-3-1. They've never done that. And so we had not prepared for that. We looked like we hadn't prepared for that. That's one of the dangers in these early season games. We got I thought we had a really good 20 minutes at the very end of the first half, and we cut a good rhythm with playing 5 or 6 guys in the second half, and then they did some stuff to us. I thought that bothered us the last couple of minutes. So it was certainly a work in progress, but Tyler especially and Dylan did a good job against his own in the second half, and then our defense, I think, guarding the 3-point shot was pretty good most of the evening.
The other thing you did is you rebounded very well.
Especially in the second half, we did. First half, I thought some of our shots weren't great, so it didn't help us getting on the offensive glass.
Boy, brief, aren't you? Tyler Tejada, 24 points in the ball game, and he just showed why he's the reigning CAA Player of the Year.
Yeah, I thought we saw he's much improved defensively, and then he did a really good job of not just settling for shots. He did a better job of getting out in transition, and he's a really good finisher. I think as this year evolves, free throw attempts are going to be a big barometer for him. The one, he makes them, and 2, he's got the ability to get there. We got to continue to get him there 8-10 times a night.
Yeah, you saw, when I was looking at the stats from last year, I didn't realize he really didn't get to the line that much last year, I think 85 times.
So, he's worked at his body, and that's one of the things, quite frankly, we've got a lot of feedback from some professional teams about him getting to the foul line. Well, him and Dylan are very serious about the criticisms you give them, even though they're like easy guys to talk to, and they really work at that. Like, we've got good workers on the team. Those 2 are the 2 best workers, and it's neck and neck. So they spend a lot of time on their craft, and you want to see them have some results like that.
How about your newcomers? How would you assess their play?
I was really happy with Morsek. That's a harder game sometimes for true centers, the way they play, but I thought Moore's ball screen coverage and his activity around the rim really helped us in the second half. I thought Jack Doumbia was excellent defensively in the second half and got to the rim after a couple interesting shots in the first half. And we got to get Schmitty going. We got to get him more shots. But then he guarded well against Rutgers and St. John's. He's got to guard the ball better than he showed, because he's a better player than that.
All right, now no knock on Loyola, but this week you're stepping up a little bit, as you will take on the number 2 team in the country, the Houston Cougars. You played them a few years ago in Charleston. We saw then what a great team Kelvin Sampson had put together. This year, again, he's got 3 guys that are on the Naismith watch list for the Player of the Year. Only 50 guys are on that list, and he's got 3 of them. That tells you what Houston's all about.
Yeah, they're arguably the best program in the country. UConn, I would say, right there. St. John's, Kansas. So Houston is cream of the crop. They're going to test your resiliency. You got to take care of the basketball, which is no easy feat, and then you've got to be able to keep them off the glass. And there's a reason why the guys won 800 games. It's a tremendous opportunity for us. Our guys will be excited for the challenge, and for 40 minutes, we've got to execute at a really high level so that we're in position to win a close game. But it'll start with taking care of the basketball.
Is it safe to say that you and Kelvin Sampson basically have the same philosophy of basketball?
Well, he's won over 800 games, so like
I'm not
his
comparing you to
philosophy is
him. I mean, I know you don't compare to him. No, you don't. But you know, tough defense, offensive glass.
You know, I would take that as a compliment. Yeah, we try to guard you. We try to get on the glass, and hopefully we can take care of the basketball. It's you know, I've always thought that gives you a chance. I think the respect I have for Houston is not that they can't be beaten, but when you beat them, you see that the teams had to play pretty close to a complete game. You know, hopefully that's the same thing for us. Like I said, we're putting a game plan together to give ourselves a chance to win the game. It's not a series. We've got to be really good for 40 minutes. It's also, you know, they're one of the few teams that would play us. We have to go all the way out there. So, but this opportunity is certainly something that'll, you know, win, lose, or draw will expose some things that we need to continue to get better at as we move forward during the season, eventually CAA play.
And I'm sure your players are excited for this game.
Yeah, they're going to be excited. I think for me, we're focused on we got to have a couple really good days of practice and get better at certain things in order to keep moving forward. You know, Loyola will have a good year in their league, and they're well coached, but we certainly didn't play a perfect game. You know, I'd say we had a good stretch against St. John's. Can we have a longer stretch of that on Saturday?
All right, we'll find out Saturday afternoon, 3 o'clock. I'll have the call for you on TowsonTigers.com. So for the head coach of the Tigers, Pat Scarry, I'm Spiro Marikas. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Tiger Men's Basketball Report.